for anyone that has served our country, I don't care what branch, and you're not a part of Alpha Battery, and the young man right here in uniform, future warrior Rick Odell, I ask anyone that has served our country, and Rick, please stand and be recognized by this group. Please. Thank you guys. Just real quick, because I don't know if I'm getting the mic back tonight, but just a quick story. Listening to Lieutenant Chambers, or Lieutenant Colonel Chambers. So for those, I know you guys know my history or whatever, but part of what I've done as the mayor of East Peoria is there's a World Affairs Council that's based out of a university across the river from us in Peoria. And I've always done my part in the last 6 years. We have dignitaries come in from all around the world. And for whatever reason, my counterpart across the river doesn't believe in recognizing folks and rolling out the carpet for them. I've always been open-minded to your point. I removed the politics from that job, and I gladly host these folks, and I've met some of the most interesting folks. But I gotta tell you guys as Marines, so last August, General Petraeus came to our town, and he's got a book, maybe a couple books, I have no idea. But one of the requirements was he wanted to make sure the mayor, and he had an armed escort, greeted him at the airport, and our job was to stay with him the entire time he was in our town. That was the deal. It's the only way he agreed to come. So talked to him in advance, assured him that, we would have armed police officers along with myself to escort him. And I've never met this guy in my life, and I thought, anyone that knows me knows I'm John Call, and it's right here on my sleeve. So we greet the general at the airport and exchange pleasantries, and we get back and we've got a hotel room for him to prepare because he is going to give this round table, right, to an audience of probably 500 people if I had to guess, talking about his book and his world experience and all this. And I'm sitting there listening to him talk about the different conflicts and stuff. And we had just made small talk from the airport to this hotel. So afterwards, we go up there and he's got books that he wants to sign for certain people and hand out. So he's making small talk, and understand the officers that are with me are police officers. And he didn't know this, but they were actually command officers that wanted to go. So I'm like, I don't care. It's up to the chief. Whoever goes, goes. But he's making small talk with each of them and gives them a book. We get back in the vehicle and we're escorting him back. And one of the things that he didn't know, and maybe many of you don't know, is General Wayne Downing is from Peoria, Illinois. And it's what General Petraeus didn't know is back in high school, I dated Wayne Downing's niece. And this is a true story. So as I'm in high school, not even thinking about the Marine Corps, Monique was her name, and she said to me, hey, my uncle contacted me, and he's gonna come in town and surprise my grandma. And those that don't know who General Downing is, he was over the Special Forces of the Army. And this dude was deployed all over. Like and nobody knew where he was at, his family didn't know. Make a long story short, I went and picked him up from the Peoria airport when I was in high school. And the general that I met, who was in full uniform with the fruit salad, impressed me as a human being. And I got to know the personal side of him because I dated his niece for 2 years. And he had, when he came in town, he asked me if I had plans. I said, no, I'm just here to pick you up. He said, no, you're here to hang out with our family. And appreciate what you did. It's gonna mean a lot to my mom and my brothers and sisters. So anyway, I knew that side of him. Our airport is named after him. After he passed away, they renamed the airport. So as Petraeus we're going back to the airport, as a commanding general, he and I began engaging in my personal experiences, boots on the ground in conflict. And the thing that was so amazing is the difference in perspectives. And it was a very respectful back and forth. You got your opinion, here's my reality. And it was really neat, and he appreciated that conversation all the way back. But here's where it gets funny. So he's going on about what Steve talked about, which is the changing of technology. And he said, man, some people just can't get on board with how the military, the technology is so advanced that we got to stay ahead of the times. And he goes, you know, I can't remember. There is some congressman somewhere in the United States that is just adamant on getting these new C-130Js. And for the life of me, I can't remember who that is, but that guy needs to get on with the program. No shit. About that time, a C-130J flies right over him, and he goes, that's a C-130J. I said, yeah, that congressman's our congressman, Darren LaHood. And man, he didn't say crap until we got back to the airport, and as we pull in, there's a statue of General Downey, and it's named General, and he goes, well, I'll be damned, this is named General Downey. I said, yeah, he was from Peoria. So then we get in a bickering contest on how old the gentleman was when he passed, and I thought, I knew the guy personally, but I thought you guys would get a kick out, because we get back and he thanks me, and he said, yeah, he goes, well, I really appreciate the, the day-to-day and everything that you guys did, and he goes, I really appreciated the escort by armed officers. And I said, well, sir, you were in the best hands today. And he said, well, okay. I said, we're all Marines. Wheels up, buddy. Anyway. So with that, I know, what's that? Oh, Carlos is telling me what to do here. And I was just getting ready to have him come up and say a few words, but we would, in all seriousness, we'd like to thank the staff of the hotel. Thank you guys for your service and your phenomenal job. And with that, I think Carlos wants to make a few comments, and then seriously, think about what you want to share, or if you want to share anything, there's no pressure. And if you would feel more comfortable